What's up, y'all? Today we are headed to Medellin, Colombia, Colombia's second largest city. Nestled in the Aburra Valley, this place of eternal spring has so much to offer. Let's check it out. Starting with the metro, this place has a series of metro trains and metro cables that can take you all over the city for as little as 75 cents. We took the metro and 2 metro cables all the way up to Parque Arvi one day, and we did not regret it. This place was incredible.
Próxima estación Caribe, estación con rutas integradas. Aquí puedes hacer transferencia a la línea O de buses eléctricos utilizando únicamente tu tarjeta cívica. Esta estación será una de las estaciones de integración con nuestro futuro metro de la 80.
Hey y'all, we're here at Parque Arvi outside of Medellin. We took a metro cable up here. It took about 40 minutes. So far it's great. It's a cloud forest, but today is actually sunny. So the temperature is awesome. It's not rainy, it's not misty. It's full of pine trees and a bunch of these, I don't know, crazy looking trees. They're like fern trees. The park is free, except for the metro cable is an extra about $5 round trip. That's a really cool trip. You're like riding up above the tree line, probably about 10-15 minutes after you get off at a station called Santo Domingo. But even the ride up there is really cool. Just a lot of what look like favelas, just these houses built one on top of the other. It's crazy. It's definitely really cool to see just another forest in Colombia. It's way different. Some of the trees remind me of Wisconsin, but then all of a sudden you see these jungle trees and you're like, okay, that's like a mix. So it's pretty cool. This is the part that does not remind me of Wisconsin. It's pretty easy to navigate, especially if you just want to go on a couple miles of trails. It's really extensive if you want to bike. There's a lot of bike paths on the road. It's really popular here. Oh, it's got a branch in the eye. But otherwise, if you're not confident hiking on your own, you can hire a guide. It costs about $10 US, so not that bad. Enjoying my hike and came across this clear cutting operation, which I thought this was a protected park, but it must be like our parks in the US where they just log parts of it. So it's kind of sad, but everything should grow back quickly, but still it's It's a little sad to see these big pine trees get chopped down. I guess people really need their toilet paper. Team Bum Gun. If you've ever been to Asia, you know what I'm talking about. Just came across this awesome football pitch. Yeah. That'd have been a cool place to play. So here's what we did. We did cable car to the park, and we walked. There's a little trail here. So we walked this road, boop, 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 boop. This yellow one. To the yellow one. Sarah went back. I kept going. I did this blue one. Now I'm here. About to go back. And then back here to take the cable car. But here, that's how big the park is. So there's a lot you can do. Just came from 2,500 meters in elevation. About 7,500 feet. And I've already went down only about 100 meters. And you can tell because it's swampy. Little bit of mud, just a little bit. That's why we wear hiking shoes. So today is a Tuesday, and I've passed one person and one dog the entire time. Probably been hiking for an hour and a half. So if you're gonna come here, come on a weekday, because I'm sure the city folk come up here to enjoy the peacefulness and the fresh air. They have a ton of picnic spots, so if you're gonna come here, I'd come on a weekday. A must-do thing when you're in Medellin is to go to Comuna 13, or the District 13. This is a place that was once known to be the most violent place in Colombia and perhaps the world, and now has made a comeback. And it's a vibrant place with a bunch of street performers and art, and everybody's just in a good mood. So we did a walking tour there, and it was one of the best walking tours I think I've ever done.
Claro que sí, lo hago con swing. Welcome to this place, welcome to Medellin. Mira que lo hago hermano como un Saiyajin. Inglaterra, you are friend from the Isabel Queen. Claro que sí, mira que me alivia. I say hola to the people from Syria. Mira que lo hago y esto suena muy selecto. You are the place for ok, con claro. Mira que lo hago a capela. Mira que le mando saludos a Venezuela. Es normal que de mis nacionales me distinga, porque como dicen ellos, dejamos esa guarandinga. Esa guarandinga y la como
comunas como las mujeres de Venezuela porque es muy chimba. Y eso yo lo puedo explicar muy real. Mientras yo me sé el beta y el léxico de Venezuela. Ay, normal, vienen a visitar. Un buen rato en la comuna vienen a pasar. Que viva Venezuela, eso lo aseguro. Menos el mamacuevo de Maduro.
Claro que sí, te lo digo mi hermano. Cuando yo canto rapeo muy bacano. Mira que lo hago y es fácil de entender. I wanna meet friends en de Torre Eiffel en París. Claro que es así, le canto a la gente que en este momento hermano está aquí. Por eso lo hago y suena elegante. Muchas gracias por venir y escuchar los cantantes.
Cantantes, esto entender. Welcome people de Siria. My friend, yo lo puedo hacer, no soy un torpe. My name is Julián, what is your name? Harry Potter. No sé, vienen aquí a visitar y un buen rato vienen a pasar. La comuna es de comienzo. My people, put your hands up.
Hey, put your hands up. Hey.
Has been always been about territory. The more territory you have, the more money, the more power, the more recognition that you are going to get. It's not a secret for mostly all of the people in the world, unfortunately, that in 1991 Medellin got to be considered as the most dangerous city in the world. Did you guys hear about that before? Yes. Okay, the main reason was going to be, guys, the drug traffic. And the drug traffic was also going to be really active inside of Comuna 13. The Urabá port, guys, is the old highway that was going to get you out of Medellin, and it will take you to three different places, Chocó, Urabá Antioqueño, and the most important one, Panama. That if you remember, Chocó and Urabá Antioqueño were where the amount of the population that was displaced, they moved inside of Comuna 13, they were from there. And guys, Panama. These three places, they have something in common. They are by the coast of the sea. In a certain moment of the Colombian history of the drug traffic, our cartels, the drug cartels, they stopped using the earth and the air to trade the drugs, and they started using the sea to get them out of especially the continent. Guys, Comuna 13 in that moment, as we had the beginning of the highway that will take you to that places, that will have the access there, we became the main target of the fight inside of Comuna 13. Everyone wanted to have the control of that mountain. Why? Because if you guys had the control of that mountain, that meant you have the control of the drug traffic. So every car, every truck, every motorcycle that was going to get in and out of the country with drugs, they needed to pay you a certain amount of money for being able to do so. So it's something that in Spanish we will call un peaje, or in English we call it a toll, right? A toll, so a tax that they needed to pay them. So imagine, guys, of course the gangs members, the drug dealers, they couldn't trade the big amount of drugs. They needed to do it by small quantities, so they couldn't get the attention of the government, right? So with doing so, guys, can you imagine how many amount of cars or trucks were going to pass by a day? And if they charge them all, can you imagine how many amount of money they were going to get in one day, in 1 week, in 1 month? That became the biggest fight inside of Comuna 13. Who gets the control of that highway? So per se, who get the control of the drug traffic inside of Comuna 13? 21 neighborhoods against 21 neighborhoods, or even sometimes 1 versus 21. They one protecting themselves and the other ones trying to attack them. It's not even that, but they wanted to start growing their territories and control of the neighborhoods, so they start getting close to that area and they got it. Guys, the situation is starting getting worse, and it's in that moment when the military operation came into place in the 98. So guys, it's also already the things that we talked when we were in the mural that I showed you before, the military operation being required and the pain that Comuna 13 people went through. Guys, almost 4 years of those military operations being made, the longest one lasting almost 5 days to be completed. So it was 3 years of conversations between the gangs members and the social leaders of Comuna 13 to restore it, to get to a middle point between all this fight that was happening. Because guys, we cannot say that during the last 20 or 30 years we've been fighting for this juice. All of us, we want this juice, right? And out of the blue, the juice is starting to go down. The juice is getting finished, so there is less juice. All of us, we want to drink it because we are all thirsty. But guys, just one of us can have it. And just out of the blue, someone comes to us and is going to tell us, you know what? That juice is not that good. That juice is not important. Let's just forget about it, or let's just leave it, or we can drink a little bit of it and then we can all enjoy it. Guys, and we are not going to agree so fast because it's been 20 years of us fighting for drinking that juice, right? It's the same thing that was happening with that highway. The drug conflict is starting going down, the drug traffic is starting going down, but for the same reason, it was going to be more expensive, it was going to be more important, and we all wanted that. But that is the reason that it required at least 3 years of conversation, conditions, and a lot of things, every condition that every gang member was going to put in order to accede to the peace treaty that they made. But guys, it took us 3 years after that to be made, to stop the fire, and also for the invisible barriers, so the turf war that I mentioned before, guys, to start going down. Hey guys, I lost my father when I was 6 years old, my brother was 7, and my father was 27 due to one of them. He went to a different comuna of Medellin, that is the number 3, as he was not from the area and they didn't saw him before, they didn't know who he was. The result for his life was obvious. It ended, or they ended it for him. So that for me, guys, was really painful to know that, and growing up in an area like that, I didn't want my mom to go through the same thing twice. So I was always scared of that. I was always scared that I was going to lose my life. I was always scared that I was going to lose my family, or I was always scared that I was going to lose my friends, because sometimes it was going to happen. And guys, after the peace treaty started being made, all that conflict is starting to go down. And it's something that we started seeing after only 3 years, of that being made. So it means that even after those 3 years, the fight kept happening, starting going down in slowly quantities. It's not like it disappeared just out of the blue, guys. It took us a lot of effort to put inside of it.
Well, that's up for Medellin, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Next up, we have Guatape. As always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Till next time.